Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. So today is a vlog style type of wrap up, as I thought let me just film this wrap up before I leave for London, as since I'm going to be away for a month, I don't think I'll be able to remember all the series that I read, but here is the pile that I read for June. Definitely I read quite a lot of manga series. I think because this past month I've been like I won't say stressed, but there's just been a lot of things that's been going on, and manga has been just a great stress reliever. And it always happens like this, where I'm like the busiest, where I tend to read the most manga. I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, so I think right now, today is like not even the middle of June right now. I think today, actually, let me see what date it is. So actually it's the middle of June, so today is Thursday the 17th of June. So within a few weeks I have read this much of manga. The most big of a surprise I read is Paradise Kiss. I read that in one go, but yeah, before we get into this video, please give this video a like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill, and click on the bell, and feel free to use my affiliate links down below for Blackwells and Right Stuff and Amazon if you want to help support this channel and its future giveaways. But yeah, you guys know all the affiliate links goes back to you guys, but felt like doing a vlog style video so I can just sit back and chill, and this is just another angle of the room. This space looks empty. It's because this was where like it was sitting before I took it out, but I do apologize if I do sound like I have low on energy. I'm currently fasting right now, as I have an appointment in a bit to get my blood test, so you know, or even my belly's rumbling. Right now it is 11:56, so I haven't ate for more than 12 hours. I haven't ate for like, the last time I ate was like, I think 6 p.m. last night, so it's been a while, so I'm running on zero energy, but let's get it, let's go. I think I want to talk about Paradise Kiss first, actually, since it's a chunky one. We'll get that out of the way. But yeah, most of the series that I read this month looks like more shoujo theme, shall I say, a bit of josei. Actually, it's got shonen and seinen in the series, but I'll say more shoujo theme, so I hope you guys don't mind. And hopefully with this video I can give you guys my best description, shall I say, and I'll also rate my manga series here as well, so it gives you guys an idea how much I enjoyed the series. But I'll say this month I enjoyed majority of the series that I read here. I haven't read a series that I like hated or anything like that. Hopefully with this video you guys can have a general gist of what these series are about, but you guys know me, I'm like the worst when it comes to like describing manga and all that stuff. I'm working on it, but yeah, I can't keep on like blaming on my dyslexia. For like these things can be worked on. But anyway, so the first series that I read in June is Paradise Kiss. This is a series that I updated you guys on Instagram over at himika_00. If you guys don't follow me, do follow me. I do update you guys on like manga deals or like my opinions on a series. I'm very interactive over on my Instagram, so if you want to just like have a chat with me, go over on Instagram, DM me, feel free. But yeah, so the first series I read is Paradise Kiss, and not gonna lie, it does look a little yellow, and I'm not too sure is it because I read it in the sun, as I did read this on literally the hottest day of the UK. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series. I didn't expect myself to read it all in one go. I expected myself to read throughout like the weekend, like within a few days, not in one sitting. But yeah, so this series is Paradise Kiss, and it is an OG series in the manga community, and it is by the manga Ayazawa. So Ayazawa, you probably know her from Nana. I'm trying to think of her other series. Yeah, only Nana comes up in my head. I'm so sorry with my brain farts, but yeah, Paradise Kiss is a series that is great when it comes to coming of age. Also, I love how it has some queer elements in this series as well, and it dives into societal issues in a very subtle way as well. Not gonna lie as well, this was a series that I wanted to pick up when I first started collecting manga a few years ago. However, back then it was already very out of print, as this series was first published by Tokyopop, so I'm really glad that they created this 20th anniversary edition. I feel like at first I did talk about I wasn't a fan of the packaging. Like, I felt like they could have done a bit better, like made it a bit more sturdy or maybe hardback. But to be honest, I actually like this. Like, I really like the format. It was very easy to read. Like, you can see there's not much bending really after reading it. This series is about this girl who's called Yukari, who's the typical girl who's not very smart, but she goes to school for the sake of going to school, and she doesn't really have a passion. And you know, when it comes to passion talk, it does I can relate a lot to, and the emotions definitely are very real. And I like how, I don't want to put too much spoilers, but like, I like how some people might not like the ending, but to me, I find that very real. Also with Paradise Kiss, I like how in the series there are some couples that they like each other but they're not compatible, and I like how they dwell into that, because sometimes there are people that you fancy and you like them, however when it comes to your life morals and like just certain characteristics, your love language, you might not match in that stuff. And I find that very, very real, because in reality there are people that you might like and you feel like you want to be their boyfriend, girlfriend or partner, however you might not be compatible in many ways, either physically, emotionally, sexually, all that type of stuff. And I like how it deals with that. But yeah, I've noticed a bit of yellowing, and it's probably my eyes tripping, but yeah, maybe it is the sun that did that. But at the same time, like, I've been reading manga in the sun lately, and I haven't seen any yellowing or anything like that. But yeah, this definitely is a thick boy. This does have 5 volumes in it, and yeah, this was, I think, I really like the speed of a snail. This took me, I think, a good 7 or 8 hours to read, which is crazy. I don't know how I read that in one sitting. Well, I did have, of course, take toilet breaks and had dinner and that type of stuff. But yeah, this was a series that I really enjoyed, that I didn't want to like drop or like put down. I just wanted to continue it and read more. But yeah, if you want a coming of age series, I really recommend Paradise Kiss, and the art style is just phenomenal. If I can show you the first few pages, I think it does have color pages at the front. Like the art style, like the detail as well, if you guys can see, is just beautiful. And I think this series is a josei. So yeah, if you want a series that is a josei coming of age and just deals with a bit of societal issues, and it has a bit of queer elements and that stuff, definitely recommend this series. But yeah, let me just put this back. So the next series I read is volume 1 and 2 of the Apothecary Diaries. This series definitely blew me by surprise. I did see this a lot on Instagram and I think on YouTube. Like the first time I saw this series was actually in Geeky Dreams Manga Hall, I believe. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is a bit interesting, as I really like how this is set in China's history. That makes sense. Like, it's set in back in the day China. I don't know if you noticed, when it comes to me describing things, I'm very like I'm not able to elaborate more, because I'm not very good with my articulation. But yeah, this is set in back in the day China, and I haven't read many manga that has been set in that era, and I really enjoyed it. The reason why I said this series caught me by surprise is because the main girl, Mao Mao, she's not that typical main girl character where she's a doormat. She actually has some feistiness, got a bit of sass, you know. Like, I really like when a character is like that, and they're very, like, when their personality really shines. And Mao Mao, yeah, she's A1 with that. Yeah, but with this series, at first, the reason why I was surprised as well, because I thought, is that typical cutesy manga? Probably. This series is a seinen, by the way, and I thought, oh, it won't be that interesting. I don't know, like, some reason I wasn't like too enticed about this series before reading it. Just like from the covers, it looked beautiful, but something made me feel like, oh, it won't be interesting. However, I'm always wrong. I always judge a book by its cover. I always say don't judge a book by its cover, but I still do it. I think out of all the manga that I read in this like whole lot, I really enjoyed this. Like, I'll say top 3. This was a very enjoyable series. But yeah, I read the synopsis before to you guys in a haul, but I'll just insert the synopsis here. This series is basically about this girl who's called Mao Mao, and she is a fanatic when it comes to making herbal medicines and cures and that stuff. And she gets to go into the Imperial, is it called Imperial Palace? Well, the inner palace, what the back says. And Mao Mao, one day, I think she got kidnapped. That's how she got into the inner palace. And yeah, one of the emperor's wives saw her and then started like having her as one of her courtswomen, should I say. Mao Mao is basically living her best life in that inner palace. I know back in the day it must have been brutal, but she was living her life, creating medicines and that stuff and being able to experiment. The main guy in this series, Jinshi, not gonna lie, he reminds me of the main guy in The King's Beast, which I'll talk to you guys about later on, literally next couple volumes. But yeah, this series, I forgot to give you my rating. For Paradise Kiss, I'll give it, because I enjoyed it a lot, I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10. And Apothecary Diaries, I'll give it another solid 9 out of 10. I would put like 9.5, you know, but I think that's just too much. But yeah, this is definitely a 9 out of 10 series, and yeah, I really recommend anyone to pick it up, especially if you like manga that's set in historical times. This is a very interesting one, and the plot, yeah, it is not bad at all. Like, it's actually very good. Like, definitely, like I said, don't judge the book by its cover. It may look cute in that, but it's got a bit of sass, you know, and I like it. I really like the characters and just the character development so far. A very enjoyable series that I really didn't expect. It gives me a similar enjoyment as much as I read like a Spy X Family, which I will talk next. So the next series I read is Spy X Family Volume 3. So this is where Yours Brother right here visits, and yeah, this was a very enjoyable volume. At the end of this, they do want to get a pet dog, and I do have volume 4 somewhere. Actually, I do have it here, but I haven't read it yet, but I'll read it once I come back from London. But yeah, by that time I'll finish my internship, so I have plenty of time to catch up on all the manga that I haven't read yet. But yeah, this volume was a very fun one, and I really enjoyed it. You get to see more of Twilight and Yor. I really hope later on the volumes that they do become a real family, even though they're a fake family, you know, and that stuff. Like, I feel like they're just cute, and you can see Twilight seeing sides of Yor that he finds cute as well, which is very sweet. And of course, I love the character Anya, who is the adoptive daughter. But yeah, I'm not too sure. From the ending, they do mention the dog that they're gonna I think they want, well, Anya suggested that she wanted a dog, and Twilight was like, yeah, maybe that's a good plan. But I think the dog is actually intelligent as well, so it's gonna be an A1 family that is OP, I feel like. But yeah, that's how I feel about Spy X Family. By the way, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know what the series is about. If you guys don't know, I'll insert the synopsis here. But this is a series that I really enjoy, and it is an ongoing series, and I think it only released like this past couple years, so it's a very recent series that I can see it being like ongoing for quite a while, as it's a Shonen Jump series. And this series you can read on the Shonen Jump app as well if you don't want to like collect this. Definitely a great one to read if you're looking for a fun series that is just light-hearted and enjoyable. At the same time, you do get like character attachment. But yeah, that's Spy X Family Volume 3. So the next series I read that I mentioned earlier is The King's Beast, and I read Volume 1 and 2. I did pick up like Volume 2 out of a whim because I went to Forbidden Planet and I saw this volume and I was like, I need to pick it up. Like, on Instagram it looks so gorgeous, and a lot of people have been raving about this series, and it is by Ray Toma, who is the same manga as Dawn of the Arcana. I'm so sorry if I butchered it, but yeah, it is a manga that a lot of people do enjoy, but I haven't read any of her series. This is the first series that I read from Ray Toma. But yeah, this series, at first, like, I did really like it until I read the Apothecary Diaries, and because it's set at a similar like era, should I say, and certain characters give me the same vibe. Like I said, the main guy character here reminds me of Jinshi. I don't know, I started comparing it in my head, and I felt like, because I enjoyed Apothecary Diaries so much, I felt like, oh, this wasn't like meeting its level, you know. But at the end of the day, I did enjoy this series a lot. But if I do compare it to other series, I don't think it's giving me the same enjoyment factor that I'm getting from other series that I'm reading currently. However, I do love a good shoujo, and I do like a light-hearted series that's not too deep. Sometimes it can be cliche and I still enjoy it. And yeah, I feel like this series I will still continue to collect, but it's not a series that like I'm invested in with the plot. I just had to be honest, you know. Like I said, like I did enjoy it at the beginning, but since I'm reading so many good series at the moment, it's just not meeting on the level as like some other series that I've been reading. So it's about this girl who is an Arjun. Arjuns are basically, they're like fox-like and they're not humans. And in this series, there's like a societal, how should I say it, like a divide between humans and Arjuns, where Arjuns are seen as basically slaves, and Arjun girls are seen as prostitutes and that stuff. Like, if you're an Arjun girl, you're most likely when you grow up, you either be a prostitute, and that's how you make your living and that stuff. And it's quite sad, you know. So basically, this girl who's called Rangetsu, I know, very, very interesting name. Her brother, who is called Sogetsu, was actually, oh, by the way, Arjuns have powers. So a lot of the time, the Imperial Palace, sorry about that, my alarm. A lot of the time, the Imperial Palace will hire Arjuns as their bodyguards and that stuff, as they have special powers. And so Sogetsu, who is Rangetsu's younger brother, he got hired when he was younger, and some reason he like got into an accident and passed away, unfortunately. And she's basically trying to avenge him, but she doesn't know who killed her brother, and it's basically a bit of mystery with that. But I hope I'm not spoiling too much. Yeah, so this series is very interesting in a way, and there are parts of it where I'm intrigued to see where it goes. But yeah, I'll give this, I'll say a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it wasn't like too bad. I can see why a lot of people enjoy it, and it is an enjoyable series. But I think lately I've just been leaning towards more like plot heavy series, or something that I can be emotionally attached, which with this series I wasn't able to be emotionally attached, of course, as it's got a bit of yokai in it, and I do love yokai, but it wasn't something that I could just dive deep with my emotions. But it was a nice light-hearted read. But yeah, that is The King's Beast Volume 1 and 2. You can tell the covers are beautiful. But so the next series I read is Kaguya-sama Love is War. So this series was on my radar for a very long time, as a lot of you guys actually commented in my comment section, ever since I created this channel, that I think one person literally compiled a list of manga that I should pick up that is the best or something. And so I was intrigued from then. So this series, I have picked up some more volumes, which you probably can see right here, but I haven't read them yet as I haven't had time yet. But this series is about this main girl who's called Kaguya, and the main guy who is called Miyuki. And the two main characters, they're basically elite students who have a lot of pride. And because Kaguya comes from a very elite family, you know, I won't say she's spoiled, but she's definitely, you can see she's high class, you know, even certain things, like she doesn't even walk to school and that stuff, she has a chauffeur and all that stuff. And then Miyuki is the typical, you know, working class boy that goes to elite school, and he's the class president. But anyway, long story short, this series is about them two that like each other, but they're not willing to tell each other that they like each other first. So they're basically waiting for the first person to confess so they can win this bet that they have in their minds. I don't know. I'm very bad at explaining, but I'll add the synopsis here as always. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know about this series, as it does have an anime. I haven't watched the anime, and I don't think I'll watch the anime anytime soon. But yeah, this does look like a scary cover art. I don't think the cover art for Volume 1 really represents the story. But if you can see at the back, maybe you guys can see, but I'll show you some pages as well of what the art style looks like. For me, this was quite wordy in a way. I don't know, it wasn't a one sitting read. This series did take me a couple days to read, and I think it's because it's a series that's not very chronological in a way. It's quite episodic, and when it comes to episodic series, I have to be in a certain mood to read it, as like I said, I tend to like reading a series that I can dive deep in my emotions and just dwell into a series. But with Kaguya-sama Love is War, I wasn't able to do that. However, I still enjoyed it, but it just took me a lot longer to read. I'll give this a solid 7 out of 10. I think the more I read it, I will be more attached to the characters. But there are parts that I did chuckle, and I did learn quite a few new things as well with this series, with when it comes to betting and that stuff. Kind of reminds me a bit like Kakegurui, but I haven't read Kakegurui. I only watched the anime, but it's not like that. It just gives me a similar vibe. It's not the same at all, because Kakegurui is proper it's got a bit of ecchi, it's proper psychological gambling. It's on level, but this is just two people that's not willing to confess their love first, and they're just waiting for one person to come up and be like, I like you, and that type of stuff. But this series, I enjoyed it, but I'll say a 7 out of 10. Since I picked up a lot more volumes, I'll see how I feel about Kaguya-sama Lovers War, but currently I really enjoy it and I don't mind collecting it. There are some characters that I do find cute, but yeah, that is volume 1. Going on to our words from a sponsor today. Thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. So if you didn't know already, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Also, Skillshare has thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and more. So this month I decided to check out animation, as it's a topic that I'm super curious about and I would like to learn the basics and fundamentals, which I checked out at Megan's classes about character rigging and animation fundamentals in Adobe After Effects. This video was very informative as I got to learn about the basics and how to create animations, so hopefully in the future if you see my videos there will be little cute animations, as I find them so adorable. But yeah, Megan also have other classes such as how to create typography and also 3D animated lettering and that. And yeah, all in all, Skillshare is created specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. If any of you are interested in Skillshare and would like to learn a new skill this summer, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click in the link down below in my description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. But anyway, back to my manga wrap up. So the next series that I read, which this took me so long to read, this is volume 1, 2 and 3 of Demon Prince of Momochi House. If you can see, actually here, you can see here, I did try to pick up more volumes of the series as that's how much I enjoyed reading Demon Prince of Momochi House. This series, if you're new to the community, this series is normally compared a lot to Kami-sama Kiss, which I have right here, if you can see. So this series is one of my OG series that I love, and I recently collected, as I feel like it will go out of print soon, as you know how it is. Hopefully I can pick up the 4 volumes that I'm missing in my collection, as I can't wait to complete it, and yeah, I can't wait to read it once I come back from London as well. But anyway, this series, how should I say it? This series literally caught me off guard, since a lot of people compare it to Kami-sama Kiss. I really looked down at this series before even collecting it and reading it, but I saw this at Forbidden Planet like in, I think December, I believe, when I picked it up. And I picked it up and it took me 6 months, 6 months to really pick up the series and read it, and I feel like I should have picked this up a lot sooner. And yeah, I think what turned me off from reading the series at first is because of the main girl. There's something about the main girl, the way she looks, doesn't really infatuate me, you know. But yeah, this series was amazing. I don't know how to describe it. It literally got me on my toes and I really wanted to read more. That's why I picked up as many volumes that I can of it, as this series is complete. I think it's complete at 16 volumes and I do have the last volume. But yeah, this one is so interesting. So it's basically about this guy who is called Aoi, and he is a human, but because actually no, let's rephrase. Okay, so the story basically starts off with the girl right here who is called Himari, which, let me see if you can see a picture of. Yeah, so this girl Himari, she basically inherits a house which is the Momochi house, and that house is between the spiritual realm and the human realm. And with that, she was meant to inherit the house at the age of 16. However, this boy who is called Aoi, he accidentally stumbled across the Momochi house before she turned 16. So he became like the owner of the house, I guess. And since it's between the spiritual realm and the human realm, he basically inherits some sort of, like, should I say power? Basically to protect the house and that stuff, so the spirits don't like roam around in the human realm and that stuff. But because of that, he's not able to escape the Momochi house. Even though he's human in that, he's not able to leave. So when Himari first stumbles across the Momochi house, on her 16th birthday, she noticed there was 3 guys and they were bare hot, of course. One, of course, was Aoi, who is a human guy. The other 2 are yokais. And she didn't know Aoi's story at first, but I feel like I might be spoiling it. But at the same time, I feel like if you read this, you will know. Basically, when Himari found out that Aoi is like bound to the Momochi house, she wants to find a way to basically free him from his shackles and that stuff. And I find that so cute. But I don't know if I'm selling the series enough, but it is a series that's worth reading, and it is a really great shoujo. The thing is, I've noted this series ever since it came out like a few years ago, but I don't know, like I said, there wasn't something that attracted me, but now I'm proper hooked on this series and I can see me being attached, and I can't wait to read more. So yeah, my thoughts on this series, I'll give it a solid, I wouldn't say 9, but I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, this is volume 1, 2, 3 of Demon Prince of Momochi House. I'm currently waiting for volume 4 to go back in stock. I think it's currently like out of stock on Amazon, and it's coming back in stock like at the end of the month. But yeah, the next 2 series that I read is Moriarty Volume 1 and 2. So this series, I had no idea what this series was about, as I'm not a big Sherlock fan. I don't like, even though I'm from the UK and that stuff, and yeah, I didn't know much about Sherlock. I remember back in like primary school, everyone was obsessed with Sherlock, and I was thinking, he's this bloke, you know. But yeah, I think I should watch the movie, but maybe one day. Anyway, so Moriarty Volume 1 and 2. So this series, Moriarty, I did pick this up at the same time as I did with Demon Prince of Momochi House. I picked this up in December, and this took me another 6 months to read. Well, I did pick this up a few weeks ago when I was at Forbidden Planet, but I'm glad that yeah, I took my time to read this, as since the series is ongoing at the moment, a lot of the volumes aren't out yet, and I feel like when it comes to up-to-date and ongoing series, I prefer having a few volumes out, then read it, rather than just read one volume, wait forever until the next volume comes out. But yeah, this is Moriarty Volume 1. So Moriarty is basically Sherlock's rival. He's a criminal consultant, should I say. Yeah, I'm very bad at describing my words, but I really like how this is set in back in the day England. I know I always say back in the day, like I said earlier with Apothecary Diaries. I'm just very bad at describing, but you know what I'm saying when I say back in the day England, right? But yeah, this is a very interesting series. I like how it's set in London as well. And like, I really like the characters. Like, at first this volume starts off like Moriarty's childhood, like his background, like where he come from, how he started. So he is a child at the beginning of this volume, and towards the end he is a full-on grown adult, and he's like a maths what is it called, lecturer. Is there a lecturer? Oh, I think it's called something else. Basically, he's a noblesman who is a criminal consultant as a side hustle, and he basically has this goal where he wants to shut down capitalism, shall I say. So where the working class people have more freedom, more say, and it's not about like all these upperclassmen, middle classmen like running over, like running the whole society. So like always, my camera has been overheating and it just shut me off. But anyway, I was talking about Moriarty. So with this series, there are parts where I had to chuckle, as there are just like a bit of cliche and cheesiness with the plot, but at the same time you do get infatuated and invested with the characters and the series. And yeah, I can't wait to read more of it. I know there is an anime, and I think I will start the anime once I read volume 3. But yeah, I've also read volume 2 recently, which I really enjoyed. I think I enjoyed volume 1 a bit more, since it went more in depth of like Moriarty's upbringing and that stuff, and then volume 2 focuses on Sherlock. But actually no, to be honest, I did enjoy volume 2 a lot, but I think volume 1 focused more Moriarty, and then volume 2 you can see bloody Sherlock at the front of the cover. So yeah, it was more about Sherlock. But yeah, I'm really enjoying how this series is going. This series, I believe you can read it on the Shonen Jump app as well. But yeah, I can't wait to read more of this, and I like how the newer series that are coming out with Shonen Jump, they're definitely very good at the moment. But yeah, that is Moriarty. If you haven't picked it up, I think go for it. If you're looking for a shonen series, bit of crime and that stuff, and you want a bit of back in the day England, you know. But yeah, that is Moriarty Volume 1 and 2 that I read. I'll say this is a solid 8 out of 10 as well. I won't put it on a 9 section, as I feel like I do put a lot of my series on a 9 out of 10 now, but yeah, I'll give this an 8 out of 10. So the next series I read is My Boy Volume 2. Not gonna lie, I don't remember what I read, so I'm just gonna flick through some pages. Since this volume is quite slim and that stuff, I do tend to forget like what I've read and that stuff. Okay, I remember a bit of it. So basically, in this volume, Satoko, who's the main girl character, I think this is Mashu, which is the boy, but he looks very girl-like here. Basically, Satoko kind of understands more of like Mashu's like living situation, where he is very neglected, and also his younger brother goes missing in this volume, and Satoko kind of is thinking like, do I step over the barrier and call up like all the guardians or like the school to say that Mashu's younger brother is missing, but then people might question me thinking, who are you to this family? Are you their guardian? No, she's just a neighbor. Well, she's not even a neighbor. I think like she's from the neighborhood. And so Satoko is kind of in this conflict of like, do I help this little boy, but do I seem like I'm crossing the line a bit too much, since at the end of the day she doesn't really know Mashu. Like I said, she is like the neighborhood, what should I say? She's part of the neighborhood, and that's how she knew Mashu, because in the first volume that's how they met, in the neighborhood where he was practicing football. But it's just a very sweet series. If you have seen in my hauls, you have noticed I did pick up quite a lot of these volumes. I'm currently up to date physically with My Boy, as a lot of the volumes were on offer on Amazon, so I picked it up. But yeah, this series was recommended to me by Manga Luna, and it is a very interesting series. I'm intrigued to read more about it, to understand more about the character like development, and also why they act a certain way and that stuff. And I want to know more about like Satoko's past, because right now it seems like they're just brushing through saying that she had a shit relationship and it's just been bare baggage on her that she can't overcome. But I can't wait to read more of it. But at the same time, like I said, this volume is quite thin, so I do seem very forgetful when it comes to like what I've read with this series. But a solid, I'll say 7 out of 10. Literally, that was like I think 4 or 5 minutes, and my camera literally overheated again. So do pray for me that I can finish this, as I only have a few more series to talk about. There are some series that I'm currently reading, but I don't want to talk about it, as like it's only Blue Flag and Blue Period that I'm currently reading, but I don't think I have enough time to read it today and give you guys my overall opinion. But yeah, I'll give this series a 7 out of 10. Actually, not this series, I mean this volume specifically. I tend to not rate volumes how it is. I normally rate series like by the general overall series. What am I even talking about? What I'm trying to say is that I tend to rate series by like the overall volumes that I read, not by single volumes, as like at the end of the day, like even if a series is really good and it has a shit like ending, for me I will still rate it overall, not because of the like crap ending, because for me that doesn't like affect my judgment. As long as I felt a certain way whilst reading a series and it made me feel quite good, or it made me deep or reflect, that's when I give my overall rating. But anyway, the next volume I read is Blue Flag Volume 5, and I really like how in this volume it tackles like a certain characteristic where girls and guys can be friends, you know, because there's this girl, I forgot who's this girl, what her name is, but she basically fancies Toma, and she has this issue when it comes to having a lot of male friends, where like when her male friends are friends with her and they get girlfriends one day, their girlfriends are jealous of this girl, and through her experience of having guy friends and that stuff, she feels like she's not able to like have a stabilized friendship, as every time her guy friends get girlfriends and that stuff and they start disliking her, like there starts to be like some drama and issue, and she's thinking like, why can't I just be friends with guys and have friends and not lose them? But yeah, I really like how this volume introduced more of that character and you get to know her more. But yeah, I feel like as I'm reading this, I do get more attached to the characters, and I do find Futaba and Taichi really, really sweet and cute. And I think in this volume it was Taichi's birthday as well, and yeah, I find it so sweet. Like, this series in general is a solid 9 out of 10 for me, and like I said, it does tackle like societal issues. You can see this ongoing theme when it comes to manga. I really like it when it tackles like societal issues and also just dwells in real life. That's something that you can relate to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that is Blue Flag Volume 5. It's just a very enjoyable series that I really recommend to anyone to read. It's so simple, yeah, so heartwarming at the same time, but at the same time bittersweet. It's just, it gives you a roller coaster of emotions, but it's such a simple series. Also, this series is in the category of LGBTQ+. However, it touches on it. It's not like all you see graphic stuff. It's nothing like that. Like I said, this series is very simple, and yeah, that is Blue Flag. So the next series I read is Living Room Matsunaga-san Volume 4 and 5. So not gonna lie, initially with this series I did like it. However, it wasn't a series that I was like, yeah, I need more of it. However, once I went up to Volume 3 onwards, this series got me hooked, man. Like, I really like Matsunaga-san. I always said from the beginning, he's just so dreamy. I'm so glad that this video is a vlog style video, as my camera just cut me off again. But yeah, so what was I saying about I really like certain parts of the volume of the series where there's just parts where you can see Miko and Matsunaga-san just getting closer, and you can see more stories about the other, like, is it housemates, should I say, and just get to know them a bit more. And I just like the whole setting of this whole boarding house and that stuff. But yeah, this series I do really enjoy, but I can see how some people don't enjoy it as much. As I remember watching, I think, Manga Sloth's video where he did mention that his wife didn't enjoy the series as much, but hopefully she will enjoy it as she reads more. But I can see like where she's coming from in a way, as like I said, I didn't really enjoy the series with the first 2 volumes. I did enjoy it, but it wasn't all that, you know. I didn't feel like it was worth the hype. However, now I'm reading more of it. This is a series that I'm invested in, and I did pick up Volume 6 already, so it will arrive whilst I'm away. But I can't wait for me to unbox my package, as I have actually another Volume 6 on the way, which is Perfect Wealth, which I can't wait, but I have to wait until I come back from London. But yeah, that is Matsunaga-san. I'm giving this a solid 9 out of 10 overall with the series, as just like, it just makes me feel a certain way. It makes me so happy when I read the series, and just so fluffy inside. But yeah, the next volume I read is Something's Wrong With Us, and this is Volume 4. If you guys didn't know, this series is by Natsumi Ando, and if you've been following me throughout this whole journey, you know, with this YouTube channel, you would have known that Natsumi Ando is one of my favourite mangas. She's one of the creators for Kitchen Princess and Arisa. And yeah, so Something's Wrong With Us is another series that she created, and this is a josei series. However, I have mentioned in my previous videos before, some reason this series just gives me a shoujo like feeling, and also this series is very like short. Like, you can read this within like 15 minutes, to be honest. But overall, if you've been following me on the channel, you would have known that I watched the Japanese drama of Something's Wrong With Us, and I really do like the plot. However, this is a series that I'm collecting slowly, but at the same time I am really enjoying it. Have I got Volume 5? I do, yeah, I have picked up Volume 5, which I'll read after when I come back. But this series, yeah, I really do enjoy it, but unfortunately I have spoiled myself, so I haven't really been like leaning towards the series as much as I want to. However, after reading Volume 4, it did make me think, yeah, I really do enjoy the series. And if you didn't know, Natsumi Ando, a lot of her works, there's a lot of plot twists, and this series is full of plot twists, so if you're into that, go for it. And yeah, I just can't wait to read more. But at the same time, like I said, this is a series that I already know the plot, but I'm really enjoying how things are going so far, especially with Volume 4. Like, I can't wait for more volumes to be out. But yeah, that is Something's Wrong With Us. I'll give this a 7 out of 10. So the last series that I read for the month of June is This is A Sign of Affection Volume 2, and look how cute the cover is. So I noticed with this series, a lot of people on Instagram and on YouTube did mention that they preferred this volume more than volume 1, and I can see where they're coming from. Personally, I did enjoy A Sign of Affection Volume 1 a lot, and this volume really topped it off for me. Like, this is a series that, like I said in a lot of my videos, it deals with a relationship that has one girl who has a hearing impairment and one guy who basically has everything of the whole world, you know. Like, this guy is like Zeus or something, I don't know. He's multilingual, he's got great communication, you know, he's good looking, like he's got everything, he's got the whole package. And here's this girl who's got a hearing impairment that hasn't seen much of the world, that is interested in this guy's life, and also the guy himself is interested in the life of sign language. So it is a very sweet series. It does play with your heartstrings in a way that is just so fluffy. Like, after reading a volume, you do feel very light and like airy inside. And yeah, I really enjoy A Sign of Affection. This is one of my favorite works from Sue Morishita. Like, I do have her other works, Shortcake Cake. However, I personally prefer this series a bit more, as the series, the characters, they're all in uni, so similar age as me, you know. So it's something that it's not like I can relate, but at the same time, it's just, all I can say is a series that anyone should pick up, especially if you're into the fluffy shoujo. This is the one for you. But yeah, like I said, since it deals with a character that has hearing impairment, you kind of see things in a different perspective than the typical romance. And it's just certain parts, like the little things that this manga is able to make you notice more. Just, yeah, this is a sweet one. But yeah, I can't wait to read more. With this volume 2, there wasn't a lot of romance going on or anything. It's more like these two characters getting closer, which you just see the... it's just so sweet. Anyway, that is volume 2. This series for me is a solid 9 out of 10. Like, I'm really enjoying it, and I just can't wait to pick more of the series up. I did read one of my comments recently where someone said they picked up A Sign of Affection in Japanese as well, because they just love this series so much, and I can see why, because it is so good. But yeah, that is all I read for the month of June. But yeah, I'm starting to get a bit tired now. As I said, I've been fasting and I've been talking so much, so hopefully the nurse later can take my bloods and that. But yeah, that is all the series that I read for the month of June. Hopefully with this wrap up, you guys got to know a bit more about my opinions with the series and that stuff. But overall, I will say this was a very lovely month of manga, to be honest, with all the manga that I've read. Like, definitely great stress relievers. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this manga haul, and hopefully it was chill enough for you guys to watch, maybe in the backgrounds of your videos. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think by the time you guys are watching it, it will be near my birthday time, so hopefully by that time I'll be back so I can film you guys my collection, you know, and my organization video. But yeah, it will be very soon. It probably will be in the next video. If not, maybe it will be a manga shopping with me video. Me ditto. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed day as always, and a blessed week. And yeah, I hope you guys continue to enjoy this channel. Give this video a like if you liked it. Comment down below. Helps me out with the algorithm, you know. And yeah, if you want to help support this channel, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe and that stuff. But yeah, I think by the time you're watching this, I will be doing my giveaway soon, so hopefully you guys are excited on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go now, and yeah, bye.